Hey guys, Amber here. Just wanted to show you guys how to make a hoop house or a greenhouse or polytunnel, depending on what you were raised to call it, um, for just a couple $100. Current dimensions are 12 by 24. I have been fortunate enough to score some lumber from one of the neighbors for very cheap. So all of the pressure treated that you see is from one of my neighbors. And I managed to get 22 pieces at $20, and they were 16 feet long, give or take. So that is what is the center support up here, the two posts in the middle, and the door, as well as what's going to become a back window, because I would like to plant in that box there. So what I want to show you is how to do this and make it sturdy. Now we get a lot of wind, apparently, according to the Allstate commercial. It's called the the Nevada Zephyr. Every afternoon we get some pretty good winds. Lately, because they've been building houses behind my house, they've been messing with the wind of sorts. So we're getting a lot of death devils in my backyard, and that's new. So right now, this end piece, I'm shaking it, is barely moving. Like, I'm putting some decent amount of weight onto it. Oh, I need to tighten that. And this is also from some more pressure treated from another Facebook Marketplace purchase. So, as you can see, I put like a corner bracket there. I went ahead and raised that particular bed, and I'm going to do it to here too, because at some point I would like to add a third row to make these 18 inches deep, or minus the 1.5 inches for lumber shortage. So rather than having to deal with it later, I went ahead and dealt with it now. And then that way, later on, when I do have the money or the lumber comes across so that I can add to these beds, I will. Which is also why these are sticking up. So a lot of this, okay, so here's how you do it super cheap. For one, you find lumber on Facebook or whatever marketplace you choose, or if you already have some laying around, you can do a lot with it. T-posts. Somebody offered me 6 T-posts. That's why I have 6 in white. They gave them to me. Wash, leave it. And then I have those ones. And so these ones are 6 feet deep, or 6 feet long. And then I have some 7-footers on the end where the wind typically kicks up. And I did the T-posts because I didn't want to deal with concrete. I didn't want to deal with any of that. I am partially disabled right now, so concrete and I are not friends because I can't lift a bag. So the way this shakes down is I did T-posts. So figure, let's see, T-posts are between $5 and $8 a piece, I believe. So whatever T-posts are in your area, figure that into your number. And then I also put T-posts on the center post there and there. And I put conduit on the top. And I took 2 pieces of conduit and one on each end. And I used the T-posts also to lift the conduit to give me more height. Because, I'm hoping to have a pretty good year this year growing. So I was able to take the conduit and put it, about, what is that, 20 inches, 22 inches off the ground, and might be 24. So I was able to get 2 extra feet of height. And then I borrowed the neighbor's pipe bender, and I bent the corners all to match, because conduit doesn't move on its own. So, or at least not metal. And we have high winds, we get rain, we get snow, we get some weird weather, and we're a mile closer to the sun than sea level because we're at 5,400 feet. So I have to take all that into account. Hey, out of there, off. That's River, she's the old lady. Off, good girl. So I have to take that into account. So I didn't do plastic. I wanted something that was going to last me for a while. So I took the conduit, I bent it, I attached it to T-posts with hose clamps. Hose clamps this size to go around this, and this is, I believe, 1.5 inches. I'll have to look at the bag for you guys. So 1.5 inches up here and 1.5 inches down here. So it took me 7 rows. I put them every 4 feet. So I have 4 feet every 4 feet is my spacing on my conduit. They are attached up at the top with an inline connector, a straight connector. And then in case this piece fails, because I did break one already, I have these right here. I hope you can see that because I can't see. These are here to keep the whole piece of conduit from flying up. So I did that on all of them. And then as you can see, I goofed on this one, and I need to put those screws pointed down because when I put the plastic on here, it's going to cause a problem. So that's one mistake you can avoid. And I only did it on the one. I don't know why I didn't fix it already. So connecting to the T-posts, I use more hose clamps because they are a lot thicker than the plumber's tape that I was initially doing everything with, and I'm not impressed with it. So I went ahead and got these. A pack of 4 is $1 something, or maybe it's 3 something. I don't remember. For 1.5 inches is way more expensive than 1 inch or 1 1/4. So basically, excuse me. I still need to get one more T-post for this post here, which is the door. I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier, but it just occurred to me, oh duh, you can put it in with a T-post. Because I was fortunate enough with this house to have a pole probably 4 feet deep with concrete attached. So as you can see, I went ahead and did that. And I'll figure out a better way to attach this, but in the meantime, this will have to work. I'll probably end up running a pre-drilling and running a bolt and a nut. Okay. So hopefully you guys can see without the sun. That's Peavine behind me, by the way. I'm in Reno, north of Reno. So, okay. So as far as securement, I used plumber's tape as a temporary. Because this is pressure treated wood, I went ahead and wrapped the bottom in pond liner because it's going to be in the dirt and I don't want that saturating into the dirt. And then this wood here is going to be for my wiggle wire. Wiggle wire will be here Friday, so I'll do more video. I'll add to this video or do a second video, I don't know. But I wanted to be prepped for the wiggle wire when it came. So initially I had done plumber's tape. Let me just show you what happens to plumber's tape when you try to put some stress on it. This is what happens. It doesn't work. And because this stuff is so freaking thin and flexible, this just doesn't, it's not even, and I even doubled up on some of these, and it didn't work. I wasn't happy with it. I needed something more sturdy, so I went back and got, oh, sorry guys, I need 2 fingers, or 2 hands. Okay, a 2-hole pipe strap. So the ones that are holding the top of the conduit down are also 2-hole pipe straps in 1/2 inch. And then these ones holding all of these on and these on are all 1 1/4. I did end up using 1 1/2 on these just because I needed it to go around a goofy corner. So 1 1/2 on the center supports. I used Simpson strong ties to do the corners as connectors. By the way, guys, triangles are your friend. The more you can make triangles, the better. So for example, I know it's not a complete triangle, but it gives the illusion of a triangle. I will, at some point, when I remember, take one more screw and stick it right in that center one, because it really tightened it down on the other side, and I apparently didn't do it to this side. So these plates are 96 cents, I believe, at Lowe's. I always do Lowe's because they support veterans a little better than Home Depot. That's just my personal preference. So T-posts, yeah, so I'm probably, what is that? There's a total of 14 T-posts. So let's just say they're all $7 as an estimate. So $50 in T-posts, probably $20 in straps. Where I had to connect 2 pieces of wood and it was on because it was actually pretty close to even, I went ahead and put a plate here. Those plates are 96 cents. I also put a little heavier duty plate here in the middle of this because I expect snow. We always get snow. And because we're at a higher elevation than Reno itself, we get more snow than town. So, and you can see I also used right there the plate there as well. Also, when I first started doing this, I didn't realize I was using interior screws. So I'm going to end up having to replace all those with exterior screws that are made for pressure treated wood, so they don't erode as fast. So Conduit is $3.68 a piece here in Reno at Lowe's. So $3.68, I needed 14 of them, so 14 times 3 is 28, 42, so $42. There's less than 100 between those and the T-posts. The bands, these little bands, a pack of 10 was probably $5, and I did 2 per, actually I did 4 per, so 4 times 7, so 28. I needed 28 of them, so I got 3 bags, so $15. So, and again, you don't have to have pretty wood. This is used wood, so I paid $20 for all this wood, plus I have that wood there left over, and then there's a huge stack over in the other part of my backyard. So I got that super cheap. And then I got this wood also on Facebook Marketplace, which includes those 2 pieces, and both of those stacks on both sides, that stack there and that stack behind her, both those stacks I paid $70. Oh, and then I got this piece of pressure treated and that piece of pressure treated down there, and a piece that I have somewhere else that I already cut and screwed up my cut, and that piece is pressure treated. And I scored because I got all of that for $70. So I got $90 in lumber that's going to last me for probably 5 or 6 projects. So, you know, who knows how long it's going to last, but I'm hoping actually to turn that into a patio cover, but I don't have a patio yet, so maybe I'll just have a cover and somewhere to sit in this outside in the shade. So, if you play your cards right, things that you don't need new are Conduit. You can look online. I was not able to find any. My amazing neighbor gave me 2 pieces, so that was 2 less pieces I had to buy. Neighbor around the corner, lumber, $20. Oh, screws. I'm probably $15 into screws, and I still have plenty left over because I got a box of 1 1/4 inch, and 1 1/4 inch is better than 1 5/8 because the wood is 1 1/2 inch thick on these sidewalls, and so it actually pokes out, and being that I'm putting plastic, I can't have it poke out. But the 1 5/8 does work on this stuff, and I actually prefer the deeper length on them. On these corner pieces, I took the same straps and I flattened them out. I already did a video on those that I'll cut into this, which you should be seeing momentarily. And, I also put the weight of the center support on top of this support. And I also ran these on their long end. These are 3x4s, not 4x4s. So I put the short end going with, basically I wanted them to support the weight of whatever could happen to this. I'm gonna get some serious winds through here. So for me it was really important that this thing was anchored to the ground in a way that I could handle doing it myself with my current situation, as well as be able to feed us, because I actually just ran out of benefits for my disability. So yeah, so as you can see, and then the beds, I did spend money on the wood for the beds. I had, as you can see, like old lumber over there, or, you know, old lumber on these ends, old lumber there. And I went ahead, so this is 12 feet wide here in Washoe County. We have stupid rules, and one of them is you cannot have a membrane covered structure larger than 280 square feet. So this is a membrane covered structure. It is less than 280 square feet as per the rules. So I have 2 foot wide beds here, 4 foot wide in the middle, and 2 feet wide over there, with a 2 foot walkway there and a 2 foot walkway there. You can configure this as well, as good as you want. We get, in fall and spring, we'll have a 50-degree change between night and day. So at night it'll be 20 degrees and during the day it'll be 70. And I am not exaggerating. That is exactly what happens every year. So for me to protect and extend my grow season, this is what I've been wanting to do for a couple of years. And I decided to go ahead and make it happen. And I've been thinking about how to do it. And I just wanted to share with you guys that if you're on a budget, or you have some, you know, health issues, and you need to be able to do something that you can do, you know, with your health issues, or even just save some money and like grow your own stuff, then I hope this gives you some ideas on how to build your own hoop house. And also, like I said earlier, triangles are your friends. So let me give you a little example. Oh, that one's not gonna work. Okay, sorry guys, hope I'm not making you dizzy. Okay, so triangles, the reason this is here as a triangle is if the wind takes this and blows it this way, that triangle right there catches it. So it's going to keep it from doing this. And the same, I have another piece already cut right there. Like, let's see my little scoot. It's because of my back. I can't bend over, so I already got ergonomic gardening stuff. Okay, so this triangle is going to go here. Imagine that, after I get that other board that's on the ground right there to lift that up. So that's going to go right there, and when that goes right there, that's going to completely support this from this way. So if we get the occasional wind going this way, then I'm covered. And as you can see, we have beautiful sunsets here. Okay. So this right here, I'm going to try. It's not moving. Whereas before I did this earlier today, it was totally moving. So in an ideal world, I may go ahead, because like I said, triangles are my friend. I will probably end up putting a cross corner here and a cross corner here. I'm not a professional. That's probably not what they're called, but that's what I call it. And that makes sense to me. So, you know, I can come out with my own language. And I'll do it again here and here, just because it'll help with the side to side here, even though it's actually getting stronger with everything I do to it. I mean, those right there made the conduit stay stronger and nothing's shifting as much. And then the cross corners right here will make everything a lot better. I'm not going to do one there. This is going to be my door. I left myself enough room for a wheelbarrow right here so that if I came in here and wanted to hide out, I could. I'm planning on doing roll-up sides. So when the plastic gets here, or the plastic's here, it's the wiggle wire that I'm waiting on. I went ahead and splurged on that because there's no point in buying 4-year plastic if you don't have a decent way to mount it. So when the wiggle wire comes on here, I already bought some cheap plastic conduit so that I could roll it up and give this a breezeway under here. And then I put chicken wire, which I already had laying around, and I had a 4-foot roll. I cut it into I took 16 inches off, so there's 32 inches left. I'll cut that in half, and then I'll go ahead and do this side with it, because I had it laying around already from our chicken coop project. So I made it work. And oddly enough, it just happened to be the exact length from there to there. So I hope while I'm rolling around here, you guys are getting ideas. And I'm sorry if the video is not totally professional. I'm learning, and you'll be seeing more videos from me. But as this goes on, I'll add more to it, or I'll put more videos relating to this. So again, if I didn't cover it, feel free to ask questions, and I'll answer them. All right, well, have a good day. Okay guys, so let me show you how I'm doing this. So obviously this is my last piece of plumber's tape, so I'm just going to show you. I mean, that stuff's super flimsy, not so flimsy. You can tell by the difference and the thickness as well. So anyways, to show you how I do this is I took it on the edge. I found my bump, which is going to sit on to hold the weight of the wood. And what I did is I just grabbed this, and this is a 1 1/4. 1 1/4 works really well over the edge of a T-post and conduit. So I went ahead and this is super easy. All I do, grab it and bend it. That's all it is. And then, now that it's bent and sitting there, and as you can see, it's actually pretty well lined up on the edge, so I don't need to do a whole lot to it. I'm going to go ahead and take this at an angle. Oops, there we go. Take this at an angle because it kind of pulls it down a little flatter. Not kind of, it definitely does. So watch as this flattens out. See how it flattened out right here? And now it's definitely sitting on that nub. Ooh, there we go. So it's sitting right on that nub. And I'm going to do it again down here, so that I have 2 to withstand our winds. Okay?